Hey everybody. Today I thought I would do a really simple nail design for those people with really short nails. And I know my nails look really short right now, but I just cut them, so normally they're a lot longer, like a lot longer. But anyway, let's get on with it. Okay. So I already put my Calcium Boost base coat by Jordana, which you can see there. The base color for this is going to be OPI, No Pain to Gain. We're also going to be using the Detail Kiss Art nail paint in black, and the last color we're going to be using today is Revlon Silver Screen 918. So, yes. Okay. And we're also going to be using a makeup sponge today, okay? Yep. Okay, so let's get started. We have, make sure when you paint your nails that you paint your edges, like right there, because I don't know about you, but for me, when I paint my nails and not the edges, when it starts growing out white, like after like a couple days, my nails start growing out and white will kind of line the very tip. I don't really get the edges when I have my nails cut this short because it normally gets on the skin, so it's really messy for me at this time, but yeah. Okay, so we're going to get our No Pain to Gain, and we're just going to put that right over here. Now, almost had the paint spill. It's really hard to do this in a way that you guys could see it. Just making sure I get everything right here. Okay, so there we have that. Now the next part is we are going to take our Revlon Silver Screen and our makeup sponge. I would suggest, it doesn't really matter whether or not you let this dry, because when I did it for the thumb, I did not let it dry. So I'm just going to not let this dry and we'll see what happens. We'll also put it on a dry nail and compare the two and see what happens, but let's put it on a wet nail first. So I'm just going to get the very edge and apply nail polish all over that. So I'm just going to like really lay it on there because I want it really nice and thick. So I'm just going to do the tip like so. Now you don't want it too deep at all. Okay, so. Okay, you don't want it too deep. Like I did a little bit too deep. It's okay if it's deep because it isn't meant to be perfect. I'm just saying. You know, you don't want it so deep that it's overwhelming. The Did Someone Say Party, because the Did Someone Say Party is a very pretty color. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to see what happens once we do the sponge technique on a dry nail. So again, we're just going to apply some of the silver screen on there, nice and thick. Okay. Okay. And we're just going to, actually, why don't I do it on this hand so y'all could actually see it? Okay. Switching hands. Okay. Right, like that. So what I've noticed with this nail design specifically is that a lot of the times you get the paint that was on the other side of the sponge on your finger. So all you have to do is easily just take a Q-tip, get some nail polish remover, and, just strain that out. Okay, so let's compare the two. You can't really tell on the camera, but from what I could tell, I think it's better when the paint is wet, because it smooths out a lot better if the paint is wet, because it's balling up. There are little balls and globs when the paint's dry. So I would suggest, after that experiment, that you do it when the paint is still wet. Okay, so the very last thing we're going to do is we are going to take our Kiss Nail Art paint, and we're going to thin the brush out. And we want the brush pretty thin for this. Okay. As you can see, there's barely any paint on there. There's really not that much paint at all. So, we're gonna start. Oh, there we are. So we're just gonna start at the end. I'm gonna thin that out a little bit more. Okay. And then we're just gonna do that part in the middle right there. Gonna dip it one more time and then thin it out a whole bunch. You know how it goes. Okay. It's gonna go like that. Okay. And that's our nail art design. And that is and that's it. If you want, you could add more. Like add some colors to this, but with the specific colors that I have, I don't want to add too many colors because I don't want too much going on right now. So, yeah. Okay. So, oh, and also, if you ever wonder where to get these little nail art paints, you could really find nail art stuff anywhere if you really look. Like at the drugstore, at the drugstore, you could really find anything there. You could find lots of good stuff at the drugstore, and you could also find stuff at your local supermarkets. Like I get most of my paint from Fred Meyer's, and I hear that there's some good paint over at Walgreens too. So yeah, just check it out and invest in some polish. And remember, ladies or gentlemen or whoever watches this, practice, practice, practice. Thank you for watching, and that is my nail design for short nails.